debate.
Bring in Republican Senator John Barrasso out of Wyoming. Sir, how are you? Good morning to you. I want to take you back to Georgia yesterday. Here is soundbite number one from the speech in Atlanta.
Jim Crow 2.0 is about two insidious things: voter suppression and election subversion. I've been having these quiet conversations with the members of Congress for the last 2 months. I'm tired of being quiet. I support changing the Senate rules, whichever way they need to be changed to prevent a minority of senators from blocking action on voting rights.
It is hard to see how this thing gains any traction in the end. If that's the case, why are they giving this so much oxygen?
Well, Bill, I saw the speech and I heard President Biden say, sadly, he said, the Senate is a shell of its former self. And I would say, sadly, Joe Biden is a shell of his former self. We are seeing a president who is overwhelmed and ineffective. And you saw that today with the inflation numbers. You see these record numbers of inflation. Joe Biden is the president of high prices. He's unable to cope with any of the issues facing our country today, whether it's the crisis of the border, whether it's COVID, crime in the cities. And he is tone deaf if he believes that changing election laws is what the American people are looking to in leadership right now.
Senator, it's good to have you. You know, the smallest majority that we've ever seen in our history of politics, or at least in recent memory, is trying to impose a new way, a federalized way, of voting for every person in the United States. Isn't that exactly what the filibuster was created to prevent?
Well, you want to, first we have a 50-50 Senate. That should be a mandate to move to the middle for people to work together. Instead, the Democrats want to rig the rules of the Senate so they can force through a very radical, extreme, dangerous, and scary agenda. And you know what it is. You report on this every day. It's trying to give amnesty to illegal immigrants. Some people want to give the vote to people who are here illegally. It's about packing the Supreme Court, adding 4 liberal justices to the Supreme Court. It's about penalizing American energy with higher taxes and rules that are going to make energy much more expensive. So, you know, when the Republicans had the House, the Senate, and the White House, 33 Democrats signed a letter saying, don't change the filibuster. Chuck Schumer said it would be doomsday for democracy. That's what they want to do right now. Take away the voice, muzzle the voice and the votes of the minority party in the Senate. We're fighting it all the way.
On that point right there, I was looking at this earlier. I got 32 Democrats signed that letter 5 years ago, 27 of whom are still in the Senate today. 27 of 32 are still in office in the U.S. Senate. I guess the answer to my question could be simply stated. We're talking about this, and we're not talking about inflation. We're not talking about the economy. And the polling that came out just a few days ago, you look at the top 4 or 5 issues in America today, they all center around people's money, Senator.
Well, you're right. Actually, the most important issue, the Gallup poll. You got it, Bill. Economy, poor leadership, COVID, immigration. Down here at number 23, at the bottom of the list, is election reform. People care about their own lives. And when these new inflation numbers, Bill, came out today, 40-year high, what we see is for a family in Wyoming or across the country, it's going to cost $3,500 more this year just to maintain their standard of living compared to a year ago. Look, paychecks are not keeping up. Families are struggling. People that are hurt most, of course, seniors, people on a fixed income, young couples trying to get by. And it is the Biden policies. Dana, you said this at the beginning, at the top of the hour. It's the Biden policies that have caused this. It's the attack on American energy. They did that day one, killing the Keystone XL pipeline. They've gone on and on with all of this COVID, so-called COVID relief. The money didn't go for testing where it was supposed to go. We don't have accountability on that. That flooded the market with capital. That has caused the increased prices that we're seeing today as well.
Okay, target-rich environment. Senator, thank you for your time. John Barrasso from Wyoming. Dana, did you see that Wall Street Journal piece today?
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.